Lucy and Mary were running for their lives on the road in the middle of the night. Behind them, a group of thugs was chasing. At that moment, Lucy accidentally bumped into a man named Hans, who was passing by. Both of them felt that the other looked somewhat familiar. After recognizing each other through Hans's hand, they realized they were classmates from high school. Back then, Hans was Lucy's passionate admirer. Hans politely smiled at Lucy and left her a business card. He was so courteous, telling her to contact him if she needed help in the future. Lucy looked at the business card in her hand. It boldly stated that Hans was the CEO of the well-known company, Group A. Now his net worth was over $100 billion. He was a true billionaire. Mary excitedly congratulated Lucy in advance for meeting her Prince Charming. Lucy was excited too. Now, in the middle of the night, they were being chased by thugs in the streets. It was because she and Mary owed the thugs $300,000. Now, they had met Hans. $300,000 was just pocket change for Hans, and Hans was still Lucy's passionate admirer. Now, Lucy didn't mind giving Hans another chance to pursue her. Lucy and Mary knew that with Hans behind them, they suddenly felt that the $300,000 debt on their backs didn't matter anymore. So the next day, Lucy, along with Mary, dressed up carefully and appeared in front of Hans's house in grand attire. Coincidentally, Hans's house had been set up for a party today, but it wasn't to welcome Lucy and Mary. It was for Hans's wife, Anna. Today was the 7th anniversary of Hans and Anna's wedding, but Lucy didn't know. She thought it was a sign of Hans's special attention to her, so she became even more arrogant in her attitude. Lucy proudly handed out Hans's business card, calling herself his girlfriend. But the servants in the house all knew that Hans and the mistress, Anna, had a great relationship. No one had ever heard of this sudden girlfriend, so they had to call Hans's assistant, A. Assistant A was Hans's high school classmate. He had witnessed Hans pursuing Lucy in high school. Assistant A had an idea. He thought that Hans must still have Lucy in his heart, so he didn't report to the butler, but directly let Lucy and Mary into Hans's villa. This made Lucy even more convinced that Hans was still in love with her. Lucy stopped being polite. She directly placed herself in the mistress's position. She roamed freely through Hans's villa. She smashed anything she didn't like. She even tore up the real Mistress Anna's photos, scattering them all over the floor. The servants in the villa all knew that Hans's first love had come to the house and was being very generous. As long as the servants did something that pleased her, she would casually reward them with tens of thousands of dollars. But Lucy didn't have that much money. These were all promises Lucy made, thinking she was Hans's girlfriend. She casually made these promises. As the servants in the villa cheered for the money, the villa's front door was pushed open. It was Anna, dressed in a gown. But Lucy didn't feel the awkwardness of a mistress meeting the wife. She even spoke condescendingly to Anna. She bluntly thanked Anna for taking care of Hans in recent years. Now she was back. She was going to make Anna leave Hans and move out of the villa. The foolish Lucy still thought that even though Hans and Anna had been married for 7 years, Hans was still in love with her. Anna had never encountered such a crazy woman. She called the butler to have Lucy and Mary thrown out, but Lucy wasn't scared at all. She told Mary to throw all the documents in front of everyone. The documents contained love letters Hans had written to Lucy in high school. Seeing this, Assistant A was even more convinced that he had chosen the right person. He had chosen the person Hans truly liked long ago. Lucy was very pleased with herself. She took out the divorce agreement and threw it in front of Anna. She demanded Anna sign the divorce agreement and leave Hans without taking any assets. Anna had never heard that Hans had a first love. Seeing the love letters Hans had written with his own hand, Anna felt deep pain in her heart. The servants on the side were discussing how much Hans adored this first love. He had given her top-tier jewelry, but in reality, this necklace was something Hans had asked Assistant A to buy for Anna on their anniversary. But Assistant A had directly given it to Lucy. It was all a huge misunderstanding. Hans's mother heard the noise in the hall from upstairs. She walked into the hall holding her grandson Andy. She saw Lucy had thrown the love letters all over the floor. She knew very well how Hans had passionately pursued Lucy. It was her idea to keep it a secret from Anna, so she had to apologize to Anna. She hoped Anna would forgive her for the secrecy, but Anna thought Hans' mother was admitting that Hans had cheated. In her grief, Anna snatched the divorce agreement. She was about to sign it. Just then, Hans finally appeared in the hall. He never expected that he was just returning to Anna's house to prepare a surprise. But how could it be that as soon as he came back, there was talk of a divorce?